This is the plaintiff, Alfonso Fogg. He says he rented his van to the defendant, and the guy damaged it. He scratched the sides of it up and then set it on fire to cover up the damage he caused. That's right, the defendant said the van caught fire, but he thinks he deliberately set the thing on fire himself. Now he's out $4,468.61, and that's just what he's suing for today. This is the defendant, William Livingston. He says the van mysteriously caught fire the day he told the plaintiff he wasn't going to be renting it any longer. The plaintiff's now trying to sue him for these damages he didn't cause. He's trying to pin the fire on him, and he thinks the judge will see this case for what it really is, a smokescreen to the truth. He's accused of lighting it up. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $500 for lost wages.
All parties, please raise your right hand. You see it, come to our please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Alfonso Fogg?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
are suing William Livingston for $4,468.61 in damages that you say he did to your, and cost you to your van that you were renting to him. Tell me what's going on.
Yes, I met Mr. Livingston through a mutual friend that Mr. Livingston wanted to purchase my van from me.
Okay.
And
what was the purchase price of the van?
it was $3,500.
Okay.
And so Mr. Livingston had called me a day later and told me that he didn't have the money to purchase it, but that he was having a lot of problems. And so he begged me if he could use my van, he would rent it for $300. And I said,
$300 a what?
a week.
A week?
Yes,
Okay.
to do courier work.
Okay.
Then the time when we met, then he told me that he didn't have the $300, and all he had was $250. And then he said, I promise, he said, I'm a deacon of a church. I wouldn't lie to you, Mr. Fogg.
Okay.
So I said, okay, fine.
So you reach an agreement that he's going to rent the van from you for $250 a week?
Yes, yes.
So you're going to pay $1,000 a month for the van?
Yes, I make, as a carrier service in New York, you make pretty good money.
If you make pretty good money, why don't you just buy the van?
At the time, I did not have the currency to purchase
Yeah,
the
but
van.
at the time, it's not like you rented it. How long did he rent the van?
He rented it for about 8 or 9 months.
Okay, so what does that come out to mathematically?
$9,000.
Okay, $9,000 for a van that you could have bought for $3,500. That's not very good business. All right, so for whatever reason, this works for both of you until it doesn't. When does it not? According to you, things went sour when you told him, hey, I'm going to buy a van. All right.
I gave him a phone call, told him that this will be my last payment today because now I'm ready to purchase my own van. At that point, he got very indignant over the phone with me, cussed me out and hung the phone up on
Why
me.
did he cuss you out, though? What did he say?
Because I said it was my last payment I was putting in
I
this
understand,
account.
but how did he cuss you out? What did he say?
Well, basically got on the phone and he did the F word and slammed the phone down. I called him back and I said, listen, we don't have to talk like that because I don't talk to you in that manner, and it's not necessary. That night, me and my wife went out. And when we came back, my wife said, look at the van. We looked, it was scorched on the side from the gas tank. Someone took a water bottle, put gasoline in it, and had it in the tank, but it got so hot, half of it broke on the floor. At that point, I called the police department.
Wait, say that again? Someone did what?
Someone, for some reason, after 7 months, and I had this vehicle parked back there, somebody took a water bottle, a $1 water bottle, had gasoline in it, had it stuck into the tank to try to set the tank on fire. So I called the police at that time.
Right. Do you have pictures?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
May I see them? So did you call him to tell him, hey, somebody...
I called that same night with the police officer standing there. And when I called him, he actually said, I'm tired, I just got in, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I found that odd because if somebody just burnt my vehicle, I want to know if you all right on the vehicle okay. That never happened. But all the time that I've been staying here, it never was a problem
But
until the day.
what are you implying? That he burned his own van?
Well, I didn't imply anything. All I did.
Well, no, you are. You're clearly
Right.
implying it. So,
I
but
just
why
thought that
would he?
odd.
Give me a reason why he would burn his own van. To blame it on you?
Well,
What do you mean?
Well, number one, he wanted $2,000 left from me at that point, and I told him.
What do you mean he wanted $2,000?
What happened is came down. I had possession of the van. He went and got the van from me one day to lend it to somebody else. The gentleman who borrowed it from him had an accident with it.
The gentleman who borrowed it from him.
Yeah, I have possession. But
If you have possession, why are you loaning out the van? If it's your rent, if you rented it.
That's what he said to me. It's my van. I can do what I want. I asked the same question.
No, while I'm renting it, you can. It's like the landlord coming in and sleeping in your bed.
Right.
You know?
So I felt the same way. But here, there, I'm not going to argue. The point is here. It's fine. Let it go.
And then that person scratched the van?
Scratched the van, took it, had some accident marks when I showed it to him. We got an estimate for him of $800. The gentleman paid him back, but he never put it back into the vehicle. My whole thing is I felt that I didn't have no insurance on it, so it wouldn't do me no justification to burn it. Because if I burn it and I got responsibility, I'm gonna have to pay for that. Second of all, I couldn't find it.
So you think that that would be a motive to set it on fire because he would be able to collect insurance?
Yes.
Your Honor, I took a picture of the van. It clearly shows in the photo, the van been in an accident. He scratched the van and squeezed it somewhere, so then he burnt it to make it seem like somebody was trying to burn the van. When he tried to accuse me of insinuating, just like what you said, he insinuated that I burnt the van by the statement he was making on the phone. And I was very upset. I have liability. I don't get, I don't have full coverage on my van.
Okay.
I don't get one dime.
I don't know how you wouldn't have comprehensive on that van when it's making you $1,000. It's like the best workhorse in your stable.
Yeah.
So you're telling me to take a look at the scorch marks, the burn damage,
the scrape marks.
and that there's a scrape there. But
yeah, it's from an accident. The fire didn't start.
Scrapes from an accident.
Right.
Why is that there?
That's on the side of the gas. That's where the gentleman he lent the vehicle to him. That was on there all the time. From the first time that he
stop.
got. Okay.
Those scrapes are from the other gentleman?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does anybody have proof of the damage at the time of the other gentleman?
No, ma'am. We didn't have a conversation.
Then neither one of you are going to be able to prove when that damage happened. All right. Let's go item by item. Why should he have to pay for a new engine for you?
Not a new
By the way,
engine.
how old is this van? 2006?
2006.
2006. It's almost 10 years old. Okay. So why does he have to pay for a new engine?
He destroyed my engine. He didn't not put no oil in it.
Do you have any proof that he destroyed your engine?
Yes.
What's your proof? A picture of the odometer?
The odometer and the time that he was supposed to change the oil. He didn't change it till 1,266
Do you have anything from a mechanic saying?
miles.
Do you have any proof from a mechanic saying that you need a new engine because of the things you just said, as opposed to that you might need a new engine because this thing has been rode hard and put away wet, because it has 200 and how many thousand miles on it?
You got over 286,000 miles.
Somebody's putting 25,000 miles a year on that thing.
This is the receipt from the mechanic.
Let me see.
This is the speedometer and the oil change receipt from the last one that he done.
Okay, well, here's what it doesn't say. This is as a result of somebody not putting oil in it. And replace the tires. Why does he have to replace the tires? You're suing for
the tires are bald.
$500.
He wore the tires.
Okay, but if I rent a car from Avis, I have to replace their tires. I've got to change their oil. You can't have it both ways. Is it? Do you have a written agreement with him?
No, I don't.
Can I see it?
Never had
Because
one.
if you have, also he's renting it, and then you agree that you told him it's my car, give it to me, I got to loan it to somebody today?
You asked the question, Your Honor, about did you have any documentation?
Okay, but hold on. That week that you paid, that was your last week.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you return the van at the end of that week?
He asked me to hold on to it, and I put it in a safe place where it was locked up by lock and key.
He asked you to hold on
Yes,
to
at
it?
that point, because he wasn't in town.
Were you
Till he
not
gets
in
someone.
town?
Your Honor.
Were you not in town?
No, I wasn't in town.
Okay.
No, I wasn't.
So a week after that, you feel like he owes you 1 week of rental.
Yeah, he didn't want to return
Because
my
what?
vehicle.
Because
He
you
didn't-
didn't come back into town to be able to receive the car?
No, he didn't want to return it to me. All he told me is it's in a secured place. I have text messages.
Let me see the text messages.
Yeah. That's on the 23rd. And then he never, we talked.
Okay, I don't need you to repeat yourself. On 4/23, you say, I'm sorry about last week. I've been under the weather a bit and trying to regain my health. Give me a call when you have time. If you want my van, then 3 days later, you say, if you want my van, let me know. Otherwise, stop using my van for work. If you're no longer going to use it, park it on my block Monday morning. And then by 4/27, which is a Sunday, at 8:49 a.m., you text him, it's there. So why are you charging him another week?
No, the 18th, Your Honor, is the day of the accident. When I asked him to I
but
wanted
you're
my
out of
vehicle.
town, and how's he going to give it back to you? The first text I see, do you have a text before this?
I
with
have
you
family
giving him
that
the
live here.
I was in the middle of a sentence. Do you have a text before this where you tell him, this is how I need you to return the car to me? Or is this the first time that you explain how to return the car to you?
No, I explained to him through a telephone conversation.
Watch this. Did he?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
But Your Honor,
No, there's a difference
it's
between
obviously
flapping
he had
gums
my
and
van.
proof.
He had my van
How's
for
he
a
going to
week,
return it to you?
9
And obviously
days.
you weren't around to have it returned to you.
But I have my family lives on the
Great.
block.
So show me how you gave him instructions on
on the
how to return it to
23rd,
you.
on Wednesday.
That's
I asked
right.
him.
On the 23rd, you say return it or buy it. And on the 26th, he answers you. And when he answers you,
3 days,
you
4 days
say to
later,
him,
he's
here's
using
how
it.
I want you to return
3
it.
and 4
I
days
want you
later,
to-
he answered the
I want
text.
you to return it
Because
by
he's using it. You know, you can't use no one's property.
You think that by yelling at me or
No,
yelling
Your
louder
Honor,
than
no.
me, you're going to be
But I'm
persuasive
saying 3,
to
4
me?
days later, he answers my text.
Okay. You did pay on the 17th,
Your Honor,
right?
you know what?
Out,
No,
out,
yeah,
out.
thank
No,
you.
I'm not
That's
going to
what I
get
was
yelled
gonna
at
say.
by
Give
you
me
over
my
and over.
phone.
Okay.
Give me my phone.
Okay, I'll give
Give
you your
me my
phone.
phone.
Just-
You're not going to disrespect me
Okay.
either.
No.
Let me have my phone, please.
You will. You'll get it in a moment.
I promise.
You're not going to disrespect me.
Right to your
Right.
left.
You know?
That's kind of how I feel.
He ain't never with a thief. You know? He come to me talking about God.
You got to step
The
out.
Deacon. Let me get my phone,
Yeah,
please.
I will. I'll
You
get
will. Just step outside a
I
second.
want my phone. That's it. That's it.
I'll get it for you.
Okay.
me just
You know
have
what?
you
Give him his
step in.
phone.
If you
Here,
just-
go ahead. Come back. Give him his phone. Don't worry about it. Don't touch my bailiff.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, is it excusable if somebody in the moment of passion screams at the judge?
It's not the smartest thing to do. Suicide.
Okay, suicide, or do you think the judge should excuse it because people just have a lot of emotion?
No excuse for that kind of emotion. If you yell at the judge, you're done.
Is that right? You're done? Screaming, you're out?
I just think that there's a time and a place for everything, and I certainly don't think yelling at the judge when they're at liberty to decide the fate of your case, I just wouldn't do that.
You three are wise people going inside the courtroom.
And there's all kinds of stuff in here that concerns me about his credibility. When he's sitting here trying to get you to pay $5,000 for a van that you rented from him, which makes no sense to me, for $9,000. And now every little thing that's wrong with this 250-something thousand mile van, he wants you to pay for. I have a problem with that. I also think it's reasonable for you to expect when someone says, don't worry, I'll take care of the insurance. That's why you're paying $250. So you don't have to take care of the insurance. So you don't have to pay for maintenance. When there's a problem that happens, you expect that insurance to cover it. And if he's pocketing the money, then I guess that's the cost of doing business. Then when there's burn marks on it, he needs to pay it, unless he can prove that you did it, which he tried to prove but failed. And you insinuated he did it, but I don't buy that either. I think just somebody did it. Maybe so you have an enemy out there. All right. As far as new tires, new paint, new engine, brand new van, the answer is no. Verdict for the defendant. Now, you're counterclaiming him $500 for lost wages for what?
Well, Your Honor, I mean, you brought me to court for things that
So
didn't-
what? How does that entitle every litigant now can ask for their wasted day in court? Who pays me? No, your counterclaim zero. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
The plaintiff couldn't last to the end to get the good news. So here's the defendant out here. What's your reaction to this outcome here?
Well, this is what I dealt with all the time, you know, being aggressive and disrespectful. But at the end of the day, it's a happy day. I'm over with it. The relationship is done, and I can move on.
Look back at this arrangement you had for this van here. How good of a business deal was this for you?
Well,
Or how bad of one?
Well, you know what? Sometimes you got to start from the bottom, work your way to the top. I got a brand new van, 2015, sitting at home. I'm doing well. I appreciate it.
Everything worked out.
It worked out to the greatest.
So you learned from
Well, put God first. He fight the battle.
Harvey?
Okay, you know, everybody asked about this. Nobody gets lost wages for appearing in court, except expert witnesses, which is not the case here. It seems unfair, especially for the winner, but that's the way it is. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.